No, I've been thinking about this a lot lately. Liberalism needs a rebranding. That is obvious as hell. Liberals for years have had this thing where they wag the finger, and I mean that's why I originally started watching you, because you're one of the people that goes out and debates in these spaces, and I try to do that as well, to just argue for basic liberalism. I went to these Trump rallies, and I used to have this theory that if you word things in the correct way to any Trump supporter, that they will agree with some core liberal tenets, like the funding Ukraine shit, or like any of this. And honestly, we've lost some of that, obviously, because people are agreeing with some super illiberal shit at its core. But
Hmm.
yeah, we need to really reclaim why immigration isn't bad, and not just economically, because now they're making these purely cultural arguments where some of them are willing to bite the bullet that they'll take the economic hit for some sort of like preserving culture. I don't know. The thing with Nick Fuentes is obviously this all starts with the like foundation that I disagree with his worldview and everything, but he states it in a very intuitive and captivating way where he'll be like, "Don't you just want your kids to look like you? Like, don't you just want your kids to kind of look how you are? Am I really a bad guy for saying that?" And I shit you not, that had like 190,000 likes on Instagram, and someone that I went to school with in high school liked it. And I'm like, "Oh, so we're just openly like saying that, normalizing it." And it's like he says it in a really intuitive way, and then you kind of dig a few layers deeper and you see those clips of what he actually means. So I think we need to have, yeah, just stronger principles when it comes to all this, stronger ways to yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Stronger principles, but also like I say this a lot when I'm arguing for stuff. Like all of the stuff that liberalism has given us, and I think defending liberal stuff, like these are like good, cool things. And sometimes when I hear people, especially on the cultural side of things, defend stuff, it feels like a weighty moral obligation that's like a huge fucking drag. Like when somebody comes out and talks about, like, well, diversity is our greatest strength. Like it feels like I'm about to get lectured to about how we need to be less microaggressive, or like it feels like this is like a burden that you have to bear, as opposed to, well, look at all the crazy different people in our country that sometimes they're really cool, sometimes they're not cool. Like there's a bunch of unique stuff that exists in the United States of America only because of like the huge amount of people that are in this country from different cultures. Like you walk around in cities like LA and New York City and everything else, and you see some of the most like diverse collections of people all getting along in the world. And I think there's like an advantage there, right? We host probably the greatest number of Hispanic neo-Nazi adjacent people in the entire world. That's a diversity thing. I feel like sometimes when we talk about like any liberal values, they come off as very finger wavy, and they come off as like a burden, as opposed to like, these are like good things. And sometimes there's like some obligation that you have to, bear as well.